This is a Grammy, an award given out by the Recording Academy of the United States to recognize so-called outstanding achievements in music. Yeah, I know you probably haven't cared about the Grammy Awards for a long time, if ever. But bear with me, because this year, the Grammys introduced a new award category, Best Album Cover. According to Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr., in today's digital world, album covers are arguably more impactful than ever. Chances are there's an iconic cover that's instantly recognizable to you, even if you've never owned the physical album. Their cultural significance is undeniable. Maybe for an iconic album like Charli XCX's Brat, which has very little detail. But what about a more detailed album cover like the newest release by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? In today's digital world, a tiny image on your Spotify or Apple Music app isn't going to let you appreciate any of the fine detail from this incredible illustration. Members of the art director community and our awards and nominations members felt this category was necessary. We expect this to be one of our most inclusive categories to date. I don't understand how all of that has anything to do with inclusivity, but whatever. So let's take a look at what the Recording Academy considers to be, quote, some of the year's most beautifully designed album artwork. Debbie Tyra Mas Fotos by Bad Bunny. The Grammys write that Bad Bunny art directed the cover himself and chose an image of two plastic monoblock chairs in front of a banana tree to represent the love letter to his native Puerto Rico. The cover of DTMF, which translates in English to I should have taken more photos, beautifully captures the essence and natural beauty of Bad Bunny's homeland. Yeah, that yard full of half-dead Bermuda grass being invaded by weeds, so beautiful. The image is also punctuated by a palpable sense of longing created by the empty chairs in the foreground, which many fans speculated were a veiled reference to the rapper's past relationship to girlfriend Gabriella Berlingeri, with whom he split in 2022. Oh sure, that's the first thing I thought of. Bad Bunny has never publicly confirmed any connection between the cover art and his personal life. Then why bring it up? Why are fan theories a consideration in choosing this album cover to be among the 5 best of the year? Yeah, this is why people don't care about the Grammys. The next album cover nominee is Glory by Perfume Genius. What? In the imagery for 2025's Glory, the art pop auteur born Mike Hadreas is shown toppled over, sprawled on the floor of a wood-paneled home with his legs askew and midriff bare as a bevy of extension cords run beneath his body. Note that the extension cords don't seem to be plugged into anything. Maybe it's a veiled reference to a broken relationship. Hadreas told Wallpaper magazine, I like how it looks. It could be a dance, or it could be that I'm sick and there's something wrong with me. That was the thing that felt riskiest about the photo shoot. It could go any way. No, it looks like you're on drugs wearing your mother's high heels and you tripped. But seriously, it's not that deep. So stop trying to gaslight people into thinking it is. Next up is The Crux by Joe. Apparently, Joe is the musical alter ego of Joe Keery, best known as Steve from Stranger Things. In the Grammys description, The Crux is bound by a tangible sense of place, namely the hotel of its title, which is filled with guests facing various crossroads of one kind or another in their lives. So there's a guy hanging from a window, a couple kissing, a man on a balcony, a Sabrina Carpenter lookalike taking a selfie, and an angry shirtless man.
That was the stunt coordinator, Gianni, and...
Is that right?
Yeah, he just took his shirt off.
Wow, good to know. And keep in mind that I'm looking at these guests facing various crossroads of one kind or another through a 10,000 by 10,000 pixel image. Most people looking at this digitally will never see this. Shot on the famed Paramount Pictures studio lot in Los Angeles, The album's cover, which was overseen by art director William Wesley II, brings the fictional Crux Hotel to life, as it teems with guests appearing in the windows of their rooms, and passerby rushing to and fro below the building's old-fashioned neon sign. A small airplane hauls a banner declaring, "I'm sorry, Cindy, and I love you," across the top of the frame. Let me guess, it's a reference to a failed relationship, right? Joe himself hangs precipitously from one of the hotel's second-story windows, clad in a white 70s-style suit. No one looking at this tiny image of a man hanging from a window would think, "Oh hey, I think that's the Stranger Things guy." Although, to be fair, the reverse album cover has this image where Joe is hanging from the window, which I guess adds context.
There's a tiny little mouse right there that you would never see. I think it's basically just for me. You'll never see it. It's a mouse dressed as the bellman.
Why? What's the significance? I don't know!
You know,
it's fantastic to look at.
It's really, I've done stuff that's kind of like minimalistic before, and I just wanted a maximal cover.
But that's the problem. It doesn't mean anything. The album cover for The Crux feels like it's being busy for busy's sake. Sure, it's a chaotic scene, but it's just not very interesting. Next, Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. The Grammys writes, "The mask plays several purposes on the cover, mainly to introduce fans to Saint Chroma, Tyler's latest alter ego, who bears a marked similarity to Chroma the Great from Norton Juster's classic children's book, The Phantom Toll Booth." Yeah, I think they mean The Phantom Toll Booth. And they're getting that from a now debunked fan theory, by the way. And no, there's no similarity here. It changes how you see Tyler, which was obviously very much a reason why he made it the way he made it. The rapper's longtime visual collaborator, art director Luis Ponce Perez, added of the eerie cover shot. Well, previously when I thought of Tyler, the Creator, it was how he portrayed himself on his third album, so mission accomplished, I guess. It makes the viewer really pay attention to what's going on with him. It makes you want to go, "Wait, what's going on here? I'm unsettled by what I'm seeing." It's an interesting portrait to be sure, but the image used for the deluxe version of Chromacopia better suits the album's content and probably should have been used from the get-go. And last on the list of nominees for Best Album Cover is Moisturizer by the band Wet Leg. Finally, something that resembles an album cover, right? And look, you don't even need an explanation or dumbass fan theories or a complex backstory to tell you why it's good. It's just a cool image. And these aren't random female models. These are co-founders of the band. The juxtaposition, the evil-looking grin, it's striking and disturbing, but also super interesting. And of the 5 featured, this is the one that deserves the win. But is it the best of 2025? Well, let's take a look at some of the covers that didn't make the cut. Revenge Seekers by Jane Remover. Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers. Phantom Island by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I Felt the Everblack Festering Within Me by Lorna Shore. No One Was Driving the Car by La Dispute. Vaxis 3, The Father of Make-Believe by Coheed and Cambria. Balloonerism by the late Mac Miller, and by the self-titled 5th album by Lucius. And my personal favorite album cover of 2025 would be Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. Why? It's iconic. And it's like the album cover of Scorpion's Animal Magnetism and Rat's Out of the Cellar Had a Baby. But this album cover was the most controversial of the year, and it pissed off the feminists, claiming that it was regressive and pandering to the male gaze. Cry more, ladies. But as far as the Grammy Awards, well, I predict that the best album cover of the year will go to Bad Bunny's Plastic Chairs, of course. Why? Because politics. A vote for Bad Bunny will be a vote against ICE kidnapping the poor illegal immigrants who didn't do nothing. And since the MAGA crowd came out against Bad Bunny being chosen to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show this year, it's all but guaranteed that he will not only win the Grammy for Best Album Cover, but also Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Album of the Year. Bet you didn't think this video was gonna be political, huh? Anyway, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments what your favorite album cover of all time is and why it's Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And if you want to support the channel, head over to my brand new merch store at don'twalkrun.shop. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time, if there is next time.